Welcome to Physics Learning. This is the third lecture on operational amplifier. In this video, I am going to discuss about non-inverting amplifier. I will also discuss the voltage follower circuit, which is also called unit gain buffer circuit. In the previous lecture, I have discussed about inverting amplifier. There we have seen that if we want to control the gain of an op-amp and if we want to tune the gain of an op-amp, we need to provide a negative feedback. Here, if you provide a negative feedback using a resistance RF and if you connect an input voltage in the inverting terminal through a resistance R, that is, you can look here, and if you put non-inverting terminal at the ground potential, in that case this circuit will serve as inverting amplifier. Here, this whole system which is under this box is called inverting amplifier circuit, and the gain of this circuit is A inverting, which is V0 upon Vi is equals to minus Rf upon R. Here, just by changing this Rf and R, you can control the gain of this circuit. Now let's look at the non-inverting amplifier. Similar to inverting amplifier, we need to provide a negative feedback here using a resistance RF because we want to control the gain of this op-amp, and input voltage will be connected to the non-inverting terminal of the op-amp and the inverting terminal will be connected to a resistance R, and then one end of this resistance R will be at the ground potential. Now let's say the output voltage is V0 and input voltage is Vi. In the previous lecture, I have discussed about the concept of virtual ground, the concept of virtual short circuiting between the inverting and non-inverting terminal. Here also, due to this negative feedback network, inverting and non-inverting terminals are virtually short circuited. Therefore, the voltage at this point X will be same as the voltage at the non-inverting terminal. Therefore, voltage at point X will be Vi. Now, let's assume that I amount of current is flowing through this resistance R. Okay. As we know, the input impedance of op-amp is infinite. Therefore, current will not go into this op-amp. Thus, this current I has only one option. It has to move through this resistance Rf. Therefore, if you apply the Kirchhoff's current law at the point X, we can write current through this resistance R is equals to current through this resistance Rf. So we can write 0 minus Vi upon R, which is current through R. It will be equals to Vi minus V output upon Rf. This is current through the resistance Rf, and this must be equal. Just by simplifying this relation, we can simply write V output upon V input is equals to 1 plus Rf upon R. What is V output upon V input? V output upon V input is nothing but closed loop gain of non-inverting amplifier. So it is denoted as A non-inverting, and this will be equals to 1 plus Rf upon R. Here you can see, just by tuning this Rf and R, you can tune the amplification factor of non-inverting amplifier. So similar to the inverting amplifier, here also we can tune R and Rf in order to control the gain of this amplifier. For this amplifier, we can look at the voltage transfer characteristics, and it will be look like this. Here you can easily see that there is a linear relation between input and output voltage. If V input will increase, output voltage will also increase, and the slope of this line is nothing but the closed loop gain, which is equals to 1 plus Rf upon R. Once the input voltage is much higher, then output voltage will be in the saturation region. That is when the output voltage will cross the biasing voltage for the op-amp. In that case, op-amp will be in the saturation region. Right? We have seen both the inverting and non-inverting amplifier. Let's compare them. These are the circuit diagrams for inverting amplifier and non-inverting amplifier. Gain in the case of inverting amplifier is minus Rf upon R. Gain in the case of non-inverting amplifier is 1 plus Rf upon R. We know in the case of inverting amplifier, output voltage is inverted. That is, there is a phase difference between input and output signals is 180 degree. Whereas for the non-inverting amplifier, if you apply positive voltage in the input, positive polarity will appear at the output. Therefore, the phase difference between input and output signals is 0 in case of non-inverting amplifier. Third and most important one is input resistance, or you can say input impedance. In the case of inverting amplifier, input resistance will be same as this resistance R. How? If you want to calculate the R input, then it will be V input at this point divided by current through this resistance. So VI upon I, that will be the resistance of input. Okay. Now current through this resistance R is nothing but the voltage difference between this point upon this resistance R. Voltage here is VI and voltage at this point is 0 because this point is at the virtual ground. Okay. Non-inverting terminal is at ground potential, and due to this negative feedback there is a virtual short circuit between non-inverting and inverting terminals. So VI upon VI minus O upon R, therefore R input is equals to R. Whereas in the case of non-inverting amplifier, this input voltage is directly connected to the non-inverting terminal of the op-amp. As a result, the input resistance will be exactly same as the resistance of this op-amp, and that will be infinity. Okay. Now let's use the concept of non-inverting amplifier in order to construct a voltage follower circuit, or sometimes it is also called unit gain buffer circuit. This is the non-inverting amplifier. What will happen if you choose the value of R to be infinity and RF to be 0? In that scenario, you can simply represent this circuit as this. Because RF is 0, so just remove this resistance and just have a plain wire. And as this resistance R is infinity, so it should be open circuited. So we have opened this resistance. Okay. In that scenario, under this condition, R equals to infinity and RF equals to 0, this non-inverting amplifier will reduce to this circuit. Okay. Now just calculate the gain for this just by using this relation. As RF is 0, so from this relation, the gain for this circuit is equals to 1. Similarly, if you want to use the concept of virtual short circuit, then voltage at this point basically will be VI, but as this point and output terminal both at the same potential, therefore it must be equals to VO also, therefore VI is equals to VO. That is, input voltage is equals to output voltage. Again the gain will be 1. As input voltage is same as the output voltage, that means output is following the input voltage. Therefore this circuit is called voltage follower circuit. As gain is 1, therefore this is also called unit gain buffer circuit. But what is the use of this circuit? What is the purpose of this circuit? If output voltage is same as the input voltage, then why we need this kind of circuit? We can directly connect the input voltage of source to the load. Why we need this circuit extra? There is a very important use of this circuit. Input impedance is very high, because let's assume this op-amp is ideal. In that case, input impedance is infinity and output impedance will be 0. But as this op-amp is a practical op-amp, then we can say input impedance or input resistance is very high. However, output resistance is very low. Thus, we can use this circuit as impedance matching device between high impedance source and low impedance load. Why we need to do this kind of impedance matching? If you know the maximum power transfer theorem, then you must know in order to transfer maximum power, the impedance between source and load has to be matched, right? In that case only we can transfer maximum power. Therefore, this kind of circuit can be used as an impedance matching. Suppose your source have high impedance and load has very low impedance. In that case, if you directly connect the source with the load, there won't be a maximum power transfer. In that scenario, we just need to use this circuit and connect the input terminal of the circuit to the source and output terminal of the circuit to the load. As a result, input is exactly equals to output. So load is receiving same amount of voltage But now there is a impedance matching because source is connected to the high impedance terminal and load is connected to the low impedance terminal. Therefore, there is a impedance matching. Same amount of voltage is transferred. At the same time, there is a impedance matching. So maximum power is also transferred. Okay. So this is the use of this circuit. Hope these two circuits are clear to you. See you in the next lecture where I will discuss about the adder circuit, differentiator circuit. Okay. Thank you.